In episode 1, I laid out my explanation of why the Calvinistic view is the only view that actually gives proper justification to the omni attributes in the first place. So let's just start with omnipresence, for example. Omnipresence, God is all places at all times. If you understand the omni attributes of God in light of the 3 verses that I brought up, that God upholds the universe by his power at all moments, that in God you live and move and have your being at all moments, and that in God all things consist at all moments, then all the omni attributes make perfect sense, and they're not mystical or magical in the sense of, well, God's just God and we just don't really have to explain it. The Bible explains it. So omnipresence. If God has created all things and is sustaining all things, if everything that exists is reliant upon his power for continued existence, then of course God is omnipresent. He must be omnipresent. He must be present with the things he is upholding. So omnipresence turns from something a little spooky, like, ooh, wow, God's everywhere, into an absolute logical necessity. God, by nature of being creator, creating something that is fully reliant upon himself, something is finite, inferior to him, reliant upon him, he must be omnipresent. He must be present with everything he's created, because Hebrews 1:3 says he upholds it all. So Hebrews 1:3 explains and justifies the omnipresence of God. Let's take the omnipotence of God now. God's being all-powerful. Again, if everything that comes into existence by God's power, and everything that continues to exist and exists and occurs by God's sustaining causative power, then God by definition is all-powerful because it is his power behind it all. And it's very ironic that a view which would accuse me of limiting God's power is a very view which presents the idea that there are things that are happening apart from God's power. So how can you have a view where there are other self-sustained things out there, other powers in the universe out there doing things apart from God's power, and still maintain that God is all-powerful? The contradiction is on your side. The limitation of God's power is on your side, not on my side. And thirdly, the omniscience, which is the topic at hand, God knowing all things. If God is continuously upholding all things, he must know all things, past, present, and future. God knows everything in the past because he was there. He upheld it. He knows all things in the present. He's upholding it, and he knows all things in the future because he knows how he will uphold it. So as you can see, when you take the omni attributes in light of the 3 verses that I've quoted, they make perfect sense. And my side is the only side that actually gives a justification for those particular attributes.